With a population of approximately 9 million and an area of more than 1 million square kilometers, Bolivia is a landlocked country situated in the heart of Latin America. Since the 1952 revolution, which introduced universal suffrage and land reform and nationalized its mines, Bolivia has been striving for faster economic growth, social equality, and political stability. After 50 years of mainly military rule and heavy government intervention, Bolivia returned to civilian rule to face the most severe hyperinflation in recent world history. At its peak in 1985, inflation reached 26,000% per year. The country and its people were in a desperate struggle for survival.
Que una vez que fui a cobrar mi sueldo, no tenía forma de poder agarrar los billetes.
Once, when I collected my wages, I couldn't find a way to carry the banknotes. I had to buy a bag in which I could put the money so that it could fit in somewhere. Each note was worthless. I was earning 21 million bolivianos, which was nothing.
Entonces fuimos al banco, al sindicato del Banco Central de Bolivia.
In order to collect funds for the city, we went to the Bolivian Central Bank. I don't even remember how many thousands of millions I'm talking about. But do you know how we collected the money? With 4 trucks from the municipality, we entered the bank vaults and collected the notes. We loaded the notes as if they were firewood, not even counting the notes that were in bundles. I don't know how many millions in each bundle, 1 million or so, but we loaded the trucks to the limit and drove out of the bank. I was in one of the trucks, the first to leave, and we drove out of the bank, around the block until we arrived at the city hall and drove right up to the entrance. There were police waiting with blankets, which they spread out, while the back of the truck was raised to unload the notes. When all 4 trucks were empty, they cried, "Enough! Enough!" and the back of the truck was lowered. And the police dragged all the money into a specific room for safekeeping.
The city was teeming with poor people from the countryside who had lost their jobs. The president of Bolivia, elected a few months before the mayor was elected, had declared an austerity program that would have surprised the IMF. And it included shutting down many of the mines that he himself had nationalized as president 30 years before. And the country was in economic shock.
Possibly the most remarkable situation, which I have never seen anywhere in the hundreds and hundreds of other cities in which I have worked, is that there were no civil works, no activity, no maintenance, no work. Nobody was mending a fence or, upgrading the roof. Or in a city of millions of people, you have to have some civil works happening, even if you don't have big works. And in La Paz, there was nothing.
When Ronald McLean Abaroa, a young entrepreneur and former Minister of Planning, was invited to run for the mayoralty of the capital city, La Paz, he was initially reluctant. He had envisioned a career as an economic minister in the national government. However, he took on the assignment and was elected as mayor. Immediately, he was struck with doubts about how he could manage the daunting task ahead.
I was really, really shocked. I thought that this was kind of a trap that I had fallen into. And I seriously thought, and my friends told me that I should quit, that I should go out as fast as possible, and I should resign to this position because there was no way I could make anything constructive and be responsive and be responsible for accomplishing what I had offered during my campaign to the citizens of La Paz.
McLean discovered that the city was bankrupt. He saw evidence of inefficiency and dysfunction. There were not enough funds in the treasury to meet the next payroll for the city's employees, which amounted to 120% of expected revenue for the month. The struggling economy was reflected in the physical condition of the city hall.
The state of infrastructure was poor, to say the least, and there was very little space.
The place looked very, very depressing. Even the lighting was very deficient. The walls were peeling.